Hey, what's up guys and welcome back to Anime King 2. And now I'm going to be giving you part 23 of Naruto, the God of Shinobi. Remember to get this one to 100 like as usual, share this to all of your friends on your social media platform, and also I just posted a new episode of What If Naruto was the next Sage of Six Path, so go ahead and check that out and enjoy. And on my main channel tonight, I'm gonna be posting what if Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu and what if Naruto went back in time. So stay and enjoy all of the what ifs coming your way. And if you're new and this is the first time you hear my voice, what are you waiting for? Go ahead and click that red subscribe button and join the Anime King family and be a part of the channel. And thank you all for your support and help. Without further ado, let's get straight into it. Start the intro. You can change. You satisfy the rage in me. Take away my pain. You satisfy the rage in me. So the last time we left off, Sasuke faced off against Deidara, and with his Eternal Mangeto Sharingan, it was pretty easy as he set Deidara ablaze with the Amaterasu. He then found Tobi as Tobi told Sasuke that he wanted him on his side, but Sasuke refused as Sasuke ignited him with the Amaterasu, but Tobi simply walked out of it unharmed as Sasuke wondered what kind of jutsu he was using. Meanwhile, Obito found Kabuto because of Kakashi giving him intel. Right now, none of the Akatsuki's know that Kakashi is a spy for Obito. They then battle as Obito didn't tell Yujito RB that Kakashi was on their side, and Yujito got pissed after Kakashi called her a little kitty and started to mock her as she bring him down to 2 hearts. Kakashi got pissed as he wondered why isn't Obito stopping this. He was on their side, but he's letting Yujito doing him like that as Kakashi ripped off his remaining cloak as he was ready to start the battle. So yeah, that was basically the last part we left off, so let's start this new episode. All I have is fire and lightning. I gotta make them work, said Kakashi to himself. The lightning mass came from Kakashi's back as it went straight to Yujito as it fired lightning towards her in a spear. Yujito, that was currently being engulfed with the Nebi, the two-tailed chakra, she wasn't fully transformed, she just had the cloak around her. She vanished and appeared right next to the lightning mass side. Yujito used a lightning style of her own due to the Nebi enhancing all of her attacks. The thing was destroyed completely as the lightning mass fell to the ground, crumbling in pieces, as Yujito was currently controlling a large amount of chakra the Nebi just supplying to her. Now Kakashi was nervous. He was down to 1 heart, and the last time that happened was when he faced off against the Hokage. I need to get out of here, he thought worriedly, but he didn't get a chance as Yujito appeared in front of him and kicked him right in the stomach. As he hunched over from the kick, Yujito then growled as she was about to finish this, as the skin on her body started to tear away and her yoke started to get thicker. She's going into her Biju mode, thought Kakashi in alarm, as suddenly he was then engulfed with the flames that made the two-tailed body. The blue flames. Obito turned as he sighed. Kakashi is dead. Well, that's a shame, he said. Kabuto then took control of the situation as he realized that he was facing off against 2 Jinchuriki that had complete control over their Biju, and they were now in their Biju mode, and Uchiha who could not be hit by any attacks, and his so-called partner Kakashi was dead. As Kabuto started to sweat. Time to retreat, he thought, as he made a hand sign. Oh no you don't, B screamed, as he tried to hit Kabuto with tentacles, but he was not fast enough. Obito looked from the spot where he was, as Kabuto was gone, coward Obito said. Currently, Naruto was smirking as he was given a mission along with Team 8. He was currently with Fu, the rest of Team 7, but minus Kurenai and a guy that he heard was named Yamato as they were on their way to the mission objective. So, they arrive at one of the underground bases of Orochimaru as they all stop right there. According to Jiraiya, this is it, said Kakashi. Is there anyone in there? Asked Kiba, as Kakashi looked over at Hinata as she nodded and activated her Byakugan. A few seconds passed before she answered. There seems to be some shinobi's presence in there, but mainly civilians who seem to be trapped in prison cells. Kakashi nodded as Yamato was surprised. He thought that all the shinobis would be gone since Orochimaru's death. Kakashi then shrugged as he turned to the team. Alright, we will be going in on teams of 2. Hinata, you're with Shino. Kiba, you're with me. Yamato, you and Naruto. And finally, Sakura and Fu. Everyone nodded except for Fu and Naruto, as Naruto was hoping to be pure with Fu so he can tell her what to do. But no choice. Naruto was tired of Konoha as he was ready to make his move. He then walked up to Fu, who was a bit upset being paired with Sakura. She was so upset that she didn't notice Naruto until he hugged her. Gasps could be heard from mainly Sakura and Hinata, but he didn't pay them any mind though. Both Kakashi and Yamato just widened their eyes as Kakashi would use one eye, but Kakashi let out a small chuckle. Shino's expression didn't change as Kiba just grumbled. Why does Naruto get the hot chick? Good luck, Fu, he whispered in her ear. Fu knew what he meant as he discreetly handed her a note, as she just nodded. Alright, break it up, said Kakashi, who was eyes smiling. You two can have time after the mission. Fu blushed, while Naruto just internally smirked. After a good 30 minutes, Naruto was getting impatient as everyone had split up 30 minutes ago and he and Yamato was searching the place and they had found nothing. How big is this place? Naruto wondered. The other annoying factor was that everything was the damn same, every corner. How anyone could find themselves through this place, Naruto couldn't understand. But then his prayers were answered as he and Yamato walked into a room, as it appeared to be a small prison. A single sound shinobi was present. Once he saw them, he brought out a kunai. Hold it, who are you? He asked. All the civilians who were trapped started to get their hopes up as they saw the Konoha headbands. Yamato was about to speak, but he started to cough up blood as he turned to see a kunai right in his chest. As he dropped to the ground, as the last thing he saw was Naruto's smirking face. The sound shinobi could only stare in shock to what the blonde has done to his comrade. Suddenly, he then felt a pull. Something was pulling him towards the blonde, as he then noticed the blonde's eyes change. Universal pull, as Naruto pulled out another kunai and stabbed the sound shinobi and threw him on the ground with Yamato. He then ran through a long and complicated hand signs, while the civilians were wondering what the hell was he doing. After finishing, Naruto brought his hand down as he said, Shimigami. The civilians then shuddered as they felt a cold wind appeared. Then, out of nowhere, a darkness emerged as a hooded figure holding a cane with a skull on the top of it emerged out of the darkness. What is that? The civilians wondered. Uzumaki, said the figure as it looked at Naruto. Naruto for his part shook his head. Yes, I am Uzumaki Naruto, but it is obvious that you already knew that, and I think that you already know what I want. The figure just nodded. Although, I wasn't sure that you were going to go through it, the figure said. Naruto tilted his head. And why is that? The figure then chuckled. Because if I were to truly revive your mother, then I will take every single person in here, soul. As the figure then turned, as he looked at everyone in the cells. Naruto snorted. You actually think that I care about any of them? The figure was silent for a moment before laughing. You are truly different from him, the figure said. Him? Thought Naruto. Is he talking about Madara? Naruto wondered. He then shook his head. Will you do it then? Naruto asked, as the figure nodded. He then pointed his cane at Naruto as the skull started to glow black with the eyes glowing red. Naruto felt a burning sensation, but it wasn't physically. He then heard a scream, realizing that it was Kushina. When the figure finished, Naruto kneeled. Whoa, that hurt. But did it work? Naruto asked. It is done, said the figure. Naruto then looked up as the figure floated to the side and Kushina was standing, grinning. It worked, she said as she ran up to Naruto and hugged him. The figure then turned to the civilians. Now for my payment. As all the civilians' bodies then dropped as they burned and turned into ash. Now, said the figure, if I am no longer needed, then I will be taking my leave. As he then chuckled, I am interested to see how your path will end up since you take this road, Uzumaki. Naruto narrowed his eyes as he remembered his dream. What was that? He asked. The figure didn't say anything. He just vanished. As that was the same voice he heard in his dream. But Naruto was brought out of the thought when Kushina took hold of his face and kissed him. When she parted, she smiled. I've been wanting to do that for a while now, she said. Naruto could only stare in shock. And then there was one, Kurama said, towards the fact that he was the only one left in Naruto's subconscious. As Naruto looked at Kushina, but you're my... Is that really a problem? Said Kushina as her smile started to fade. Naruto took notice of this. Before he smirked, if you wish, he said, as Kushina's smile came back. Currently, Mikato smiled in pleasure as she was bathing in a hot spring in a village a distance away from Konoha. Movement caught her eye as she sighed. You know, if it was anyone else, I would have killed them. Interrupting my bath time. I am not so sure. What about the Uzumaki boy? Said Zetsu, as it was Black Zetsu who was talking to Mikato. Mikato turned her head away as she huffed. What exactly are you doing here? She asked. Well, your son just killed Deidara and Obito killed Kakashi, so Toby is currently speeding up his plans. What about Kabuto? Asked Mikato. He got away again. He really is just like a second version of Orochimaru. Something the world doesn't need, muttered Mikato. Well, in any case, it won't be long now before Toby and Kabuto are killed. What about Pain? Asked Black Zetsu. What about him? He's just a pawn in this, said Mikato. Aren't we all? Said Black Zetsu. Mikato turned to Black Zetsu. What that's supposed to mean? She asked. Nothing. So what do you want me to do now? He asked. I doubt you still want me to keep pretending like I work for Toby. For now, yes. Keep up the acting. But soon that will end, she said. Black Zetsu chuckled before disappearing underground like he was never there. Mikato sighed as she leaned back. We are all pawns, but for who? She wondered. Currently, Naruto led Kushina through the corridor, as he was the one who walked in here in the first place, so he was leading the way back. But it wasn't a good idea. So we're lost, asked Kushina, as her eye twitched. Naruto could only shrug. Seriously, it's not my fault. Every corridor in this place is the damn same. Same colors, same door, same pattern. I think this is why Orochimaru went insane. Hell, I've been in here less than an hour and I am already reaching that level, he said. Kushina had to admit that he had a point. How anyone would know to get from point A to point B without getting lost down here must be some sort of freak or something like that. I just say we blow our way out of here, Kurama said in Naruto's mind as Naruto nodded his head. Since Kushina was no longer in there, she just raised an eyebrow. Kurama said that we should just blow our way out, explained Naruto, and I must say I agree with him. Kushina sighed. I know you don't care what Konoha think anymore, but they're going to find out either way, said Naruto as he interrupted her. I killed that Jonin, whatever his name was, Yamato, something like that. They're going to find out anyway. They then heard footsteps. Someone is coming, said Kushina. Finally, said Naruto in a sigh of relief, as Kakashi, Kiba with Akamaru, was running down the hall. Kushina narrowed her eyes. No point avoiding it, she said, as she looked at Naruto's eager face. As she knew that Naruto is ready. Naruto, said Kiba, as Kakashi stopped, before pausing and taking the fact that there was an attractive redhead beside Naruto. Kakashi's face lost all colors as he recognized the redhead. Kushina? He asked, couldn't believe it. Kushina? Repeat Kiba as he was confused. Oh, said Kushina in surprise. You still remember me. I don't know if I should be grateful or not. But how? Asked Kakashi, coming out of his shock. You should be dead. Kushina's face then turned dark. There is nothing I have to explain, Kakashi, but do know that you, as she then charged at him, as Kakashi quickly blocked at the last minute. And she wanted to do this quietly, said Naruto as he chuckled, as he then turned to Kiba, who was currently looking at Kakashi and Kushina fight, as he was confused. Oi, Mutt, Naruto called out, as Kiba then scowled, as he turned around. Hey, who are you calling? But he didn't get to finish that sentence, as he was sent flying through the hallway, crashing into the wall courtesy of Naruto's punch. Akamaru ran over to his master. Kakashi could only stare wide-eyed at what Naruto had done. What's going on, he thought. Kushina scowled. I can't fight properly in this long thing, as she was talking about the dress that she was wearing. Naruto, could you be a dear and please hand me a kunai? She asked, as Naruto threw a kunai over to her, as she caught it, as she cut the dress all the way up to her legs. Kakashi blushed slightly at seeing some more skin, but it ended as Kushina came at him again in the kunai, as he pulled out his own and blocked. Meanwhile, Kiba held his cheek in pain as Akamaru tried to consult him. He turned towards Naruto, who was rushing at him. Why the hell did you do that for? I've been meaning to do this ever since I returned. It's time to make this village burn. Meanwhile, with Sakura and Fu. So, are you and Naruto dating? Sakura asked. Fu sighed in annoyance. For the past 30 minutes, the monkey, the nickname that she has given Sakura, was trying to start a conversation with her, as Fu didn't want to discuss a single thing with the pink-haired girl. She already knew what Sakura wanted to know in the first place. So what was the point? She wanted to know about Fu, well, herself and Naruto. After trying for 30 minutes, Sakura finally gave up, as she finally asked what had been bugging her. So, are you and Naruto dating? After she saw Fu and Naruto hugged in front of everyone. Well, Naruto hugged her. As Naruto had been cold to everyone ever since he got back, so it was a surprise to see he hugged her. Fu thought about it for a second. She considered not responding, but a better thought came to her mind. Yes, we are, she said, making Sakura stop walking. As Fu then stopped and turned to Sakura. What is it to you? Fu asked. Sakura tried her best to smile, but even Fu could see that it was forced. Nothing, I was just wondering. Naruto isn't the person that one would want to date, said Sakura. Fu just turned her head. You're an idiot, Fu said, as she then walked off without looking back at Sakura. Sakura narrowed her eyes and was about to reply, but before she did, an explosion caught their attention. The two then turned and ran towards it. So, he's ready, thought Fu as she ran behind Sakura. Currently, Kakashi was holding his left arm from a serious deep cut, thanks to Kushina. I really couldn't beat her in Kenjutsu. I doubt even Sensei could. And she doesn't even have a sword, only a kunai. Currently the ceiling was blown up as they could see above ground, as Naruto was responsible for that. Is this all you can do without your Sharingan? Said Kushina as she tore the kunai. Then you should probably use it, because if you don't, you will end up dead. Kakashi remained silent as he brought his headband up. He then glanced at his left arm. I won't be able to use any jutsu now, he thought with a frown. Here, come at me, said Kushina. Meanwhile, Naruto was holding Kiba by the throat as Akamaru lay in the bushes a distance away, dead. Why? Why? Kiba managed to mutter it out as Naruto was crushing his throat. Do you really have to ask? As he brought his other hand forward, his kunai drawn, as he was ready to finish off Kiba, a loud gasp stopped him as he turned and saw Sakura as Fu was behind her. Naruto, what are you doing? Asked Sakura with wide eyes. Naruto sighed. Is this really a surprise? Why? Why are you doing this? She kept asking over and over. Naruto rolled his eyes. Well, the first thing I'm going to do is kill him, he said. Before Sakura could say anything else, Naruto finished bringing the kunai forward and sliced Kiba's head with a clean cut. Sakura could only scream as she saw Kiba head roll and landed on the ground. Naruto let go of Kiba and the rest of his body followed. Kakashi could not think of anything as he couldn't believe what just happened. Don't forget about me, said Kushina as she appeared behind him and delivered a powerful kick, sending him flying and rolling on the ground. Then Hinata and Shino arrived as they could only stare at their third teammate's dead body as Hinata burst into tears while Shino glared at Naruto. I suppose that it was you, said Shino quietly. Yep, said Naruto. I see, said Shino. Kushina then appeared at Naruto's side. What about Kakashi? Naruto asked. He's unconscious over there, answered Kushina. There is no reason for me to kill him right now. I want him to be conscious when I do. In any case, we should get going. No, you're not, said Shino as he stepped forward. Sakura and Hinata were too shocked to do anything, while Fu was just standing there with a bored look on her face. Naruto rolled his eyes. You know something, Shino? I really didn't have a problem with you. I wasn't going to kill you. But if you try to stop me, I will. If you're going to kill me anyways, it doesn't make a difference, stated Shino. Naruto chuckled. You got me. A question first though, Naruto said, as Shino didn't say anything. As Naruto then took this as a sign to ask, why aren't you asking me why am I doing this? Hell, you don't even seem surprised at all. Because it wasn't surprising to me. When you left from Jiraiya and went on your own, Shikamaru knew that something was up, and he knew that you did this on your own. And so did I. And what you're doing right now must be that reason. Naruto then clap. Well done. As bugs then start to surround Shino. So, you wanna play? Naruto said with a sick, evil look on his face. But guys, I'm gonna be ending this episode right here. If you want to see the next part of this, you already know what to do. Like, subscribe, comment down below, and turn on that bell notifications they posted. And remember, I'm gonna be posting what if Naruto went back in time, and also what if Kurama gave Naruto a dojutsu on my main channel. So stay in tune and enjoy. But for now, I'm out. Peace.